All right, PK. Jaxson Dart, Roy High School to Corner Canyon to USC to Ole Miss to the New York Giants bench to the New York Giants starting quarterback position. How long will it take for Russell Wilson to get benched? Well, the answer is 3 weeks. Your expectations for Jaxson Dart, given that the Giants have been down for a while now and nobody does this by themselves?
To go in there and prove that he belongs and not look overwhelmed. The same thing I was talking about with an Ace Bailey. I've seen Jaxson Dart, as we all have, play many times. I've talked to people who've coached him. I know people who've coached him very well, obviously, and they believe he's got this skill set. And I don't want to see what happened to Zach Wilson, where and it's an unfortunate situation, although Zach is still in the league, and hopefully he gets his chance some point down the line, which I think he will, to just look like I'm an NFL quarterback. You know, your team isn't set up. I understand that. But just look like you're an NFL quarterback. And I think it's important. He is a sort of a forerunner for the state of Utah. You know, you look at the University of Utah football program. If you're a really good offensive lineman there, you're an NFL guy, right? And the scouts go, we know Utah, great defensive backs, great defensive linemen, great offensive linemen, some decent running backs, right? And so you establish that rep.
Yeah. If you can play linebacker at either Utah or BYU, the NFL's probably looking at you.
Yeah, and so I think it's important. Jaxson Dart is sort of carrying the banner here for quarterbacks in our state because there hasn't been a lot of them. And you want to say, and your boy the herd used to crack on Zach Wilson nonstop because he found out that his mother's family was loaded. You know, the JetBlue and all that. Nealman's, I think that's their name. And,
David Nealman.
Yeah, and so he would crack on it endlessly about he was just a little spoiled rich kid. And so he wasn't used to hard times, and he's out there in lily white Utah and all that stuff. And that stuff sort of feeds off of itself here. And now if Dart can come in and just ball out and look like, hey, man, nothing was given to me. You know, I've been able to bounce around a little bit, but everywhere I've gone, I've won the position. And he had to leave SC because Lincoln Riley was bringing in Williams. He's bringing in his own guy, right? Williams wasn't going to come in there to sit. He was going to come in there and play. And he played fairly well at the college level. We'll see how he develops at the pro level. But who's to say Jaxson Dart can't be better than what Caleb Williams is or whomever, right? He was drafted later in the first round, but so what? So was Lamar Jackson, and we can go on on that stuff. So I just want to see him come in there and act like, hey, I got this, man. You know, I don't know what level of winning and losing they're going to have. That remains to be seen, who they're playing and all that. I mean, the Giants haven't won in a number of years here, but do that because I think it bodes well for our state, and then it also bodes well for himself, and then, of course, the Giants.
You know, there are so many quarterbacks who have come out of Texas and Arizona, modern day. If you're the quarterback of modern day, it's just assumed you're really good because you wouldn't have gotten to that job without being really good. And you're right about, you know, as high school football evolved here in the time that we were here, more and more guys got recruited, but it seemed like the last position that got recruited, don't worry about getting to the NFL, just to be a starting quarterback in college, it seemed like by population – this league was producing a lot of players at a lot of positions, but zero at quarterback. Now, somewhere, and we can talk about this with Riley coming up in the next segment, somewhere 5 to 7 to 10 years ago, that started to change, and guys started to get recruited. And now there's multiple guys coming out of Utah high schools that are playing at different schools. But the pro thing, that's like a glass ceiling that has to be cracked. And when it does, man, as much as you like to think everything is just done on talent and everybody's got the eagle eye and they can look at the numbers and the stats and the skill set and all that, there's still some assumptions made.
Yeah, I think there are.
And if you're a good quarterback, in Utah, you're not looked at the same way as if you're a good quarterback in Texas and Arizona. I mean, you recite Arizona quarterbacks endlessly. There are so many guys coming out of Arizona, and they don't all hit. You know, a lot of the guys you talk about are guys who transferred 2 or 3 times and are still looking to get their chance. But there have been enough stars out of Arizona that, they get a second look there. And they didn't hear a decade ago. I think it's changing, and this could be another step in it changing.
Okay.
All right, DJ and PK, we'll talk to Riley about that. He will join us next. Look ahead to BYU's conference opener and the Utes with a major injury. How can they replace that production? We'll talk with Riley next. Stay with us.